my previous video, I talked about the psychological impact the physical decluttering of the spaces can have on us. And in today's video, I will be talking about that one particular beautiful method of decluttering and organizing, which will not just ensure the perfect way to declutter and organize, but also will emphasize on the spiritual significance of this entire process. And as the title suggests, I will be talking about the Kon Mari method of decluttering and organizing. I'm sure many of us already know about this method, and I remember back then, it was the Netflix series that I had watched, and it was about Kon Mari method. It was about how Mary Kondo actually goes to places, and uh, talks about this method, and it was very useful Netflix series for me personally. I learned a lot from that. I may not be able to say that I have completely taken this method, to its entirety in the sense that I follow all the steps. But yes, I have put in my 100% effort in trying to achieve the kind of decluttering and organizing method that this particular, process talks about. And talking about the person who started this method, that is Mary Kondo. She is a Japanese organizing consultant and also an author. So, it is a wonderful experience to not just watch the series, but also the way she talks about the entire process is so impressive and so convincing, because you come to know about one vital fact about the decluttering process, that is, it is not something that you're doing just on the physical level, but yes, you are having a wonderful emotional and you could say psychological impact in the process of decluttering and organizing. So I would highly recommend that you do your own research regarding this particular method. And in today's content, I would be focusing more on the spiritual significance of this method. And the method is very simple. She emphasizes on the process of decluttering the items at home based on the category and not on its location. So you can start up with the books, the clothes, whatever it is. She emphasizes on the point that let it just not be a physical process, but also try and view it from the spiritual point of view as well, and that makes the whole difference. So yeah, in today's content, let me come up and share all the thoughts that I've collated regarding this particular method, because yes, as I said, I have been practicing this personally for many years, and it has really benefited a lot in my lifestyle, in my way of homemaking. So I'm highly impressed, and I would highly encourage each one of you to know about this method, make your own research regarding this method, and then get convinced about how exactly it is going to help you in your homemaking process. So if you are interested in such kind of contents and you're new to my channel, then please do consider to subscribe to my channel. And if you're already a part of this community, then please welcome back. I am Vaishnavi, and my channel is all about homemaking motivation. And I would like to take up anything and everything that's related to homemaking as a topic to come up with the content on my channel. And I firmly believe that homemaking is not confined to just cooking and cleaning of the house. Homemaking is a job, and this job is much beyond cooking and cleaning. And the more we realize, the more we acknowledge the importance of our job, it is then that we really start loving our job. And yeah, once we love our job, we are sure to enhance our skills in that, right? So my channel is all about the motivation towards the homemaking process, and I make sure that I talk about mental health and emotional health of us homemakers as well. So as I said, if you are interested in such kind of contents, then stick around till the end of this video, because I'm sure you'll take home something significant and something vital. And yeah, I would like to emphasize on the point that I am no life coach and I'm not an expert in any kind of topics that I could say that yes, I have done a mastery on this particular subject and so I'm talking. No, I am a homemaker, and based on my experience, I am happily sharing all the things that I feel is worth sharing on this channel regarding homemaking, regarding mental health, emotional health. So without any further ado, let's start the video. This method emphasizes on the point that the individuals who are taking up the process of decluttering need to evaluate item in the most conscious way, thereby promoting the mindfulness in their way of living. It actually fosters intentional living. This particular method makes an individual realize the true feelings and values, and also it aligns their possessions with their life goals. This, according to me, is the most beautiful part of the method. And the method itself is not just on a very physical level. It actually promotes a very impressive spiritual significance, in a way that when a person will not just see his or her possessions just as items, but rather with complete mindfulness understands the value of evaluating it, that makes a difference in the way they take up the decluttering and the organizational process. So yes, this method promotes the mindfulness. It in a way emphasizes on the point that whatever possessions we have at home, it needs to be evaluated in a very mindful way. And during the entire process of decluttering and organizing, the more we are bringing about that kind of intentional consciousness, or the kind of mindfulness into the entire process, it just makes us realize that yes, this is something that is not just happening on a physical level. It is a process which is making me realize and acknowledging my own feelings and values. It can be based on the possessions, it can be based on the items which are at a very physical level, but the very essence of evaluating them with an intention of mindfulness makes the whole difference, and that gives this entire method a twist of spiritual aspect. So yeah, in my opinion, the spiritual significance of this method is in the form of the kind of mindfulness and the way it fosters the intentional living. The essence of this method is that it makes us understand what exactly we require in order to make our lifestyle very meaningful, yet very simplified. So, when we start evaluating the items in the most mindful way, that is when we realize that this is leading us towards the intentional living. And when I say intentional living, that means we are, aware of the kind of possessions, of the kind of items that we have, because we are mindfully evaluating it. So yes, this particular point, which is highly emphasized in this method, will only help us to understand that everything that I need to take up, maybe it is just a physical process, maybe it is just a decluttering process on a very physical level, but if it is done in the most mindful way, it will make me understand the value of the items, and also it will allow me to align the possessions that I have with the kind of life goals that I have. So, this is a very wide spectrum if we need to understand in a very precise and in a very beautiful and detailed way. And that is, we need to stay mindful even when we are taking up a physical activity like decluttering. This method emphasizes that. This method focuses on these two beautiful points, and that is the sense of gratitude and appreciation. In this method, that is the Kon Mari method, Marie Kondo says that any item that you're letting go of while you're in the process of decluttering, you must always hold those items and literally appreciate and show a sense of gratitude towards those items. They can be physical items, so what? They served something to you, right, for all these years. And now that it's a time to let go of it, it is very much necessary that we actually, show our appreciation and gratitude and say thank you to that particular item, and literally show the gratitude that yes, you served me for all these years, or you served me for all these days. Now is the time to let go of you. And that kind of energy that you're sending will have a beautiful emotional effect on your own self. So this method talks about this particular aspect, and that is, you need to show a sense of gratitude and appreciation when you're letting go of items. As I said, it can just appear, it's just a physical item, why do I have to be so emotional about it? But then it's not just about the physical item that we are talking about in this method. It is about the kind of emotional impact it will have on us when we are letting go of it. So the more we develop this kind of attitude within us, that is the sense of gratitude, the sense of appreciation, the more we are making room for positivity and abundance rather than a feeling of scarcity. And this is the spiritual significance. And we must always try and understand one thing, that whenever an item is giving us some kind of service, or it's giving us some kind of utility, it's not that it's just a non-living thing and it's just something that what if I talk to it, whether it will understand or what, or if I show my feelings, will it understand or what? It's very genuine. We will get into those kind of thoughts, and we will also come to a conclusion that no, I should not be so attached to material things. While I agree all these are very logical points, but then we need to understand one essence of this particular method, and that is, whenever you're doing anything for that matter on a physical level, if you do it in the most conscious way, if you're doing it with an intention of carrying that mindfulness during the entire process, it is not that you are actually getting attached to material things. It is like, although it's a physical activity that you're doing, you are making sure that it is also having an impact on you on a mental level or on an emotional level, that you can call it. So yes, this method beautifully signifies this particular point, and that is, we need to develop a sense of gratitude, a sense of appreciation. Of course, this is needed in human relations, no denial, it is most needed at this particular point of time. But even when it comes to some material things, if we start developing this sense, we are helping ourselves in building this kind of attitude within us, and that will kind of benefit us in the most magical way. So yeah, this method is very pure in its approach when it says that you need to let go of things, be it on a physical level, be it just an item, but you need to let go of it with a sense of appreciation and with a sense of gratitude. This can be a very sensitive topic to talk about, but then, yes, the more we address on such particular points, it is better for us in terms of having the knowledge that such kind of emotional maturity is required at times. As I said, we always take certain things as something very mechanical, something, as something that is so monotonous that we do not attach any kind of importance, leave alone spiritual significance for such activities. But then, if you go deeper into it and understand the value of each and everything, that is when you realize that everything has got its own spiritual significance. So, there are situations wherein you get departed from your loved ones. It can be a huge loss in life. And some people, what they do, they don't let go of the possessions of the person who is no more on earth, who has left them. So it becomes very tough for such people to let go of such things, be it just clothes, be it their books, be it anything that's related to them. They're not able to leave it because they feel that, okay, the presence is felt in these items. So let us understand one thing. This is a very extreme case wherein, a person has lost his or her loved one forever. There can also be situations wherein we are holding on to certain things. It's just a physical thing, it's just a mere item or a product, but then we are holding on to it because we have attached some kind of sentimental value, or maybe sometimes guilt, fear, and we're still holding on to those items. But this method so beautifully tells us, emphasizes on the point that it's time to confront such feelings and release them. Heal yourself. So, when you get into the decluttering process, and a beautiful method like this, that is the Kon Mari method, it spiritually awakens you in a way that it emphasizes on the point that yes, it's time for you to confront your own feelings. It's time for you to give yourself the channel wherein you're able to release yourself emotionally, and that will give way to healing. So, yes, this method is not just merely on a physical level of decluttering, it is an emotional journey. Yes, it is an emotional journey wherein people are letting go of things. And again, I would like to emphasize on the point that we are mostly telling, it is just a physical item. So what? Why are we giving it so much importance? But we don't know how exactly it is occupying space in our lives, in our mental space, in our emotional space. We are not aware. So, unless we go through this process on a physical level, it is, in my view, not possible for us to experience that kind of emotional release which gives way to healing. So, yeah, this method primarily signifies on this particular point that you need to confront your feelings, you need to release yourself emotionally, because healing is necessary, and decluttering can be a medium for you to release yourself emotionally and get into healing. This method, uh, you know, talks about the energy flow, and it is somewhat similar to the principles of Feng Shui. So this method talks about creating that kind of clear spaces so that there is a perfect, a free way of energy flow in your house, which will welcome positivity, which will welcome abundance. So the more things are cluttered and the more, uh, everything is disorganized, we cannot expect the flow of energy in such spaces, because even the energy needs that kind of space. The energy needs that kind of clarity. Energy on any level, be it the positivity, be it the abundance, all of these require a certain kind of clarity when it comes to the physical spaces. And when the physical spaces gets decluttered, it also means that, mentally you are decluttering your own thoughts, and you're giving way to the energy flow. So yeah, this method again, it emphasizes on the concept of energy flow, and it is a very simple concept which says that you need to create room, you need to make space for new things to come, the fresh things to come inside. That will not happen as long as you're holding on to something which is not serving any purpose in your life at all anymore. It's not serving any kind of utility for you anymore. So, the more you purge, the more you declutter, the more you clean your spaces, the more you organize it in a beautiful way, you are in a way inviting the positivity, you're in a way inviting the energy of abundance into your places, into your spaces. So, this method clearly emphasizes on the point that the entire concept of decluttering, be it on just a physical level, it emphasizes on the point that this means you are giving way to the energy flow, and this concept beautifully strengthens our belief in the fact that we need to create space for good energies at home. I hope you liked today's content, and it was kind of an extension of my previous video because once we get to know that there is a psychological impact of something, an activity so physical as a decluttering process, when that can have a a psychological impact on us, then why not explore the ways in which we can declutter and organize our homes, which is not just done on a physical level, but it will teach us the spiritual significance of decluttering. So the intention behind making this content was just that. And yes, as I told in the beginning itself, I was highly influenced by this method, and I would highly recommend everybody to make your own research about this particular concept, which is called the Kon Mari method. And this method is so beautiful. There are also many segments in this method which talks about how exactly you can organize your closets, which is very interesting in my point of view. It's not just about the physical organization that we concentrate a lot on. It is also about the way in which we organize, so even that is given in a very beautiful way. I highly recommend. I guess there is also a book on this. Personally speaking, I haven't still read that book, but then I was so influenced by that Netflix series that through years I have been still following all the minute concepts and details that were told in that, and it has always been very useful for me. And so here I'm sharing that particular experience that I have had so far for all these years, and it has worked really well for me in my life, in trying to improve my lifestyle and also improve my organizational skills. So I would highly recommend this method. And as I feel it is so important that we don't do everything just on a physical level, but understand what it means, understand what it has to offer us in terms of its spiritual significance. The more we do things consciously and with the more mindful attitude, that is going to benefit us in the long run. And that was the intention of sharing this content, so that you are aware that there are such methods, and we need to make more research on such things and make our house more beautiful, and try and come up with more organizational skills which enhance us on a spiritual level as well. So yeah, that's all about it in today's content. And please feel free to share your feedback in the comments below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and have very happy homemaking journey for all of you.